Okay, yesterday, I absolutely know for a fact I should have talked about this. I just sort of, didn't. But I actually know who the guest star is on Hot Ones this week. And it's someone who's awesome. It's Paul Rudd! Paul Rudd is going to be a Hot One. I am excited, man. Oh, hold on. Like, it's already a happy hump day, but this is even better. This is awesome. Like, I love Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is the man. Like, I first saw him, in that one, sort of like a background character role in, the movie Knocked Up, which is a really funny movie, by the way. Spoiler alert, in this video, I'm going to be talking about a lot of really funny movies and shows that I like. Some which do feature Paul Rudd. Anyway, I mean, I thought it was cool then, but then I see him in other things. Funny enough, two of my two favorite Paul Rudd movies, without question. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I mean, I knew Paul Rudd was going to be good in those, so I didn't really, think it was going to be, a problem. But I mean, Paul Rudd is a Marvel superhero. He is Ant-Man, which is awesome. But the two Paul Rudd movies that have resonated with me the most in life. Well, first I gotta talk about each one, because here's the thing, even though one came out before the other, I actually saw the latter before I saw the former. I'll explain. See, it was actually during the spring break of the year I was a Trinity Poly, actually. And it was a little bit on the depressing side. I don't want to get into the details, but let's just say for about a week after I got home, my mother and I were not speaking. And before you even say anything, she was the one who kept making it worse and worse. In fact, she actually started the whole thing, but that's another story for a different day. My point is, at that time, we actually did, make up. And, I was feeling sort of good, I was feeling sort of, but I still needed to feel like that extra, little bit better that would have made me, just right. You know what I mean? So, this movie comes out, and it had the wackiest, corniest, silliest title ever called I Love You, Man. And I watch it, I see the movie, and I just had a blast. I was laughing my head off the entirety of the movie. I dare say that I Love You, Man is probably my favorite romantic comedy. I mean, actually, it's hard to say. As much as I love the movie I Love You, Man, another romantic comedy of mine I really do like, that unfortunately does not feature Paul Rudd, but that's okay because the movie itself is Silver Linings Playbook, which features actually another Marvel superhero, Bradley Cooper, Rocket Raccoon. So, yeah, both romantic comedies I absolutely adore, and I totally, not that you couldn't figure this out yourselves, but I highly recommend them both. You really couldn't go wrong with either one, for sure. Actually, if you are wondering, I know Silver Linings Playbook is a romantic comedy because Rotten Tomatoes did you know what? It was in 2017 when The Big Sick came out, and Rotten Tomatoes did a list of the 50 greatest romantic comedies of all time. And both Silver Linings Playbook and I Love You, Man were both on there. So, yeah, they're both romantic comedies, which is awesome. I love me a good romantic comedy. I do. That being said, though, man, I gotta get me a girlfriend. Maybe someday soon. Anyway, so, all right, I was going to talk about the other movie of Paul Rudd's that resonates with me. Well, you know what? Come to think of it, as much as I love this movie, I do not think I've quoted that movie this particular movie I'm about to mention, not nearly as much as I should, especially when it comes to excuse me, like Paul Rudd related movies. This one might actually be my favorite. I mean, I have mentioned before. One thing I definitely have said about this movie is, if you want to watch a movie that's about LARPing, just watch Role Models. Role Models is awesome. I love that movie. Oh, I love Role Models. I do. I love the comedy. I love the actors in it. I love that it features Kiss. Kiss is awesome. And by the way, I know of several Kiss songs that are not rock and roll all night party every day, like Love Gun, and my favorite Kiss song, Detroit Rock City, which they play in the movie with one of the most awesome movie entrances ever. And now to quote the movie, "I can't believe my eyes. A minotaur." I love that line. I just love everything about it. Ken Jeong is the king going as they're approaching. Seriously, you can have a bad time watching Role Models, but I swear that scene is gonna turn all around for you. Oh man, I love Role Models. I do. That would be if I wanted to get a group of friends together and watch a funny movie. Role Models would definitely be a movie I would show. Plus, I mean, again, it's got technically it's got swords and shields too. I mean, it's LARPing, but swords and shields, that's awesome. Man. I get the feeling if LARPing had existed, LARPing kind of existed, technically long before Role Models. But nothing really in my area at all. I get the feeling if LARPing existed, a whole bunch of people that I know would totally be into it. To some capacity. And we'd probably use Horsehead's football field as a battleground. That'd be pretty sweet. Oh boy. Man, I could think about that. I could think about watching I could watch Role Models a dozen times. I'd still never get bored of it. I could also watch I Love You Man a dozen times and never get bored of it. So yeah, I just gave you recommendations on 2 classic movies, both of which feature Paul Rudd, that you could never go wrong with. You have a great time. You could watch I Love You Man if you want to stay in and stay in with that special somebody in your life. You could watch Role Models if you want to have a good laugh, with a group of friends. If you have friends to watch it with, that's really cool. So, yeah, could not recommend those movies enough. They're awesome. I actually have both movies on DVD, but I think I still left them I think my folks still have them. I'll have to see if I'll get them back. That was actually one sort of thing I was thinking about doing is doing sort of a live reaction of movies that I watched when I was younger, and then sort of react to see if they still hold up in a way. I mean, full disclosure, I'm sure they all probably still do, because I would only really show movies I liked. Maybe the nostalgia goggles will be on, but it would still be still there's that, I guess, but I don't know. So yeah, they actually got Paul Rudd to be on Hot Ones, and to my knowledge, I'm trying to go over how many Marvel superheroes from the MCU have been featured on Hot Ones, because so far to my knowledge, definitely Scarlett Johansson, now Paul Rudd, not much else so far. Maybe something will happen, down the line. It would be interesting to watch. I mean, I'm sure, I know other actors from, other Marvel-related movies that are not in the MCU have been featured on hot ones, like Halle Berry from the X-Men movies, or T.J. Miller from the Deadpool movies. So, yeah, they've been featured on hot ones before. Yeah, when you think about it, hot ones has had a lot of guests on it. Like, I mean, they're in their 10th season right now, so of course they would have a lot of guests so far, which, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's awesome. And you know what, there's actually one thing that's even more awesome. Means hump day, which I already means halfway through the week. We're also, I do believe by all accounts, halfway through the month of October, or close to halfway through the month of October, because, today's the 16th, so I would suspect, actually it would have been the 15th at around noon, so yeah, we're over halfway through the month of October. Cool. And the point I was trying to make is, before I left for the Trinity Pauling reunion, I had mentioned this, that I didn't really get an opportunity to read One Piece Chapter 958, The Promised Harbor. A chapter so memorable for me that, I remember the title. And I mentioned how, unfortunately, that chapter had the unfortunate mishap of being after Chapter 957, Big News, which did in fact feature big news. Like, world-altering big news, in fact. My point is, after Chapter 958, there was a 2-week break. The 2-week break is actually almost up. We should be getting, sometime within the next 48 hours, we're going to be getting another One Piece manga chapter. So, really looking forward to that. I hope it's good. Although, kind of makes me wonder, what on earth happened. Hopefully, we'll have an explanation. So, here's to hoping that whatever did in fact happen, is good. Although, let's be honest, we're in the Wano arc, which actually featured time travel. And unfortunately, with time travel, anything could happen. So, let's see where this one goes. Oh well. I still think Wano is probably going to end up being the best arc of One Piece when it's all said and done. At least I hope so. Actually, I should probably talk about... Yeah, I think that's what I'll do at some point. I'll probably talk about, my thoughts and overall experiences with the arcs of One Piece. You have, 30 plus... 30 plus arcs. Each varying in, length and stuff. And not only do they vary in length, but they also, vary in, my opinion overall. So it should be that'd be an interesting thing to talk about. Because one thing I definitely want to talk about regarding One Piece is, like most people in the United States, I was featured to the infamous 4Kids dub of One Piece. Yeah, I know. It's bad. It's probably one of the worst things, if not the worst thing, involving the English dubbing of an anime. But I gotta give credit where credit's due. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be a One Piece fan. I wouldn't be thinking about it or talking about it now. So, yeah. I guess in a way some good came out of some bad. Nothing wrong with that. We had to go through the bad first, but, in the end, good happened. So, we're going to be okay. Oh, boy. That being said, though, I almost want to give away, what I think the best arc is. Even though I probably have mentioned the name of it several times. But I don't know if I've actually considered to be the best. But, you know what? Hold on. I want to see if I can name all... Before I end this, I'm going to do something quite difficult to do. I'm actually going to try and name all of the One Piece arcs in chronological order. Romance Dawn, Orangetown, Syrup Village, Baratier, Arlong Park, Logtown, Logtown, Reverse Mountain, Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, Drum Island, Alabasta, Jaya, Skypea, Water 7, The Sea Train, Ennis Lobby, Return to Water 7, Thriller Bark, Sabaody Archipelago, Amazon Lily, Impel Down, Marineford, Post-War, Return to Sabaody, Fishman Island, Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, Zoe, Whole Cake Island, Reverie, Wano. I did it! Holy cow! Holy cow. That's probably the most impressive thing I've done in the video in quite some time. And what a great way to end on. Like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms, turn on those notifications on YouTube. You know, I'm very humbled to make this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy for today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful hump day. And remember, if you guys want to talk with channel, it's going to be here. It's fun to hear. And I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. And you know what? Maybe I will talk about my thoughts and overall opinion of each arc individually. I'll think about it. Take care.